Good evening. It's Freddie Vasquez, Basement Politics Unfiltered. Tonight, do we care enough? Do we care enough here in the city of Yonkers to make change happen? Let's talk about it. Good evening. I am Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered. Welcome. Happy Sunday, Yonkers. Good morning. Oh, good morning. Good evening. Good evening, folks. Freddie Vasquez. Happy Sunday. How you folks doing? I'm doing good. Tonight I want to talk about caring. Do we care enough here in the city of Yonkers to make change? Stems from a question that was asked of me this morning. Right? This morning, my wife began my wife was folding laundry. When she asked me a question, she said, why do you do this? Right? Why do you do basement politics? What do you hope to get out of it? And, I kind of looked at her a little bit strange, and she said, several people have asked me, why does he do basement politics? What is his end goal? And I thought I made myself, clear what my end goal was. So I was, a little bit bewildered. Right. So I paused for a second, initially confused by the question. What do I hope to get out of this podcast? Right. The bewildered look on my face was not because I could not answer the question, but because the question was asked. My next instinct was to give the purpose, the end goal, so to speak: transparency, honesty, information, and an outlet for those who are disenfranchised and marginalized to have a platform to have their voices heard. But I thought by now, after so many podcasts, I had given reason, I believe why, I do the podcast. I believe God has put me on this path, if you want to honestly know. But I don't think that's what the question really was. Then I understood what the question actually was clearly. And what some people want to know is how I am looking to benefit. What is my end goal? How do I want to benefit from this podcast? Do I want a city job or some other perk? We often see people given the minute they begin to say what's wrong with Yonkers. In life, we always have a choice. We always have a choice to make. What choice we make depends solely on one thing and one thing only. That thing is, what do we care about? What is it that you care about? What is it that I care about? That's what matters most in life. That's what makes us or leads to our decisions that we make. You can determine who someone is by the choices they make. They make choices because of what they care about. What they care about is more important even than doing the right thing. And what they care about is even more important many times than what people love. You can love your community, but if you don't care about your community, right, you're not going to work hard to make it the community that we all want it to be. If you care only about your social status, then you will make choices that will hurt your community in order to change and improve your financial status, right? So going back to the question asked of my wife, why do I do basement politics? The answer is simple: because I care. Care is a generative force behind all actions that leads to creation, or in other words, it leads to a result. The result can be positive or negative depending on the level of care we have. Unfortunately, we have stopped caring about politics here in Yonkers, and the result has been negative for the majority. So we have to care. Loving our city is not enough. We must care about making a positive change for all. My end goal is to see enough people care about what's happening in Yonkers so that it leads to the creation or results, right, that we are looking for, a positive one for all. A more informed, voter is what I'm looking for, who, when faced with a choice on election day at the polling station, the choice will be clear. The choice will be the one that is in the best interest of the people. We need honest, transparent officials who the people have confidence in. Politicians that reflect true makeup of Yonkers, which are not a bunch of elitists with summer homes in Florida and elsewhere. Especially when when they get their riches at the expense of the people of the city. That to me is not okay. That bothers me a lot, right? You ever wonder where the money goes? This is what you should think of. Elected officials and leaders enjoying expensive galas, buying up properties, and making money, selling them to developers. So when the ish hits the fan, they will be good. But what about you? Let's talk about student violence, because we need to care. And that is my end goal. I want to make people care as much as I do about creating change. And one of the things that I care truly about is our educational system, the Yonkers public schools, and the students within our school district, right? So let's talk about student violence and sexual assault. Recently, I received two very disturbing videos. One of them so much so that I could not post on my page. I just couldn't do it. Are we being misled here in the city of Yonkers? Are schools improving? Some say not at all, especially the ones where mostly Hispanics and Blacks attend. I have heard from individuals, both parents and staff, from some of the problem schools, and they say it's gotten out of hand. Well, one of the videos that I posted, this one I was able to post, was of a huge fight. Students from our city schools beating each other up viciously, huge brawl, and eventually a female teenager was stripped of her pants and left on the bus naked. I had to actually edit that and put some there because you can see her private parts. And it was a teenage boy who did this, and he ran off, right? Unfortunately, I will never let my kids travel home from school alone or on the school bus or public transportation. Unfortunately, I just don't have the confidence that they will be safe. So I will always pick them up until they begin to drive. The probability of an incident occurring is too high. It was only last week that I posted a video of a man pulling out a gun on high school students. Right? And now I put another video of these teenagers beating each other up, and poor bus driver yelling at them to stop. And they didn't listen. They kept on fighting. Right? I know that guy went home that day and was like, I don't get paid enough for this shit. I'm sure he did. Right? Interestingly enough, I had a conversation not too long ago with a bus driver, and he said that they don't engage people really. And so some people were saying, why didn't the bus driver do more? Why? He doesn't want to get hurt. They could have pulled a weapon. That's not his job, right? Recently, the city announced the summer would be free to travel on the Beeline. But who's going to want to travel, even if it's free? It's not safe unless you really have to. Besides, according to the driver I was talking to, many don't pay anyway. They just go on and say, I ain't paying. And the bus drivers let them on and sit down and just drive because they're not going to engage them. It's not worth it to them. And they say they're not going to get support from the company. So why would they do that? So if you want to get a free ride, just say, I'm riding free. You ain't going to do nothing about it, basically. Right? And that's what's been happening already. So we can't blame the driver for not doing more in this incident. I mean, they could have pulled a weapon out, right? So what is the solution? Because this is happening a lot, and I'm expected to receive more videos that are even more disturbing than the ones that I've already seen. Honestly, it's crazy. It's crazy. So is it just out of sight, out of mind? We just sweep it under the rug and say that everything is great. Schools are doing wonderful. They're improving. Some say that this may qualify as a sexual assault. Does it? A teenage boy ripping off the pants of a young girl? then running off the bus, leaving her naked on the bus to figure out how to get home in that condition, right? And that was bad enough until I received the second video. And that one blew my mind. But what blew my mind more was the reason behind the video, which I later found out. The video, which I couldn't post up, was of two boys, which I did not initially realize, performing sexual acts on each other. They took turns as other students videotaped them in a bathroom stall in Saunders High School. And what I hear is that they wanted to be videotaped. They wanted to post it on Pornhub. Unbelievable. This is what our students, our kids are thinking about these days, posting videos of themselves on Pornhub. That was shocking, more so than actually watching the video, which I did not realize it was two boys until they switched. So what is going on? What is going on? What's insane is that I'm expecting to get more videos, again, like I said, and these videos are supposed to be worse. They're supposed to be of an assault, a stabbing, and a rape. Serious stuff. I just feel like we're being lied to. Yes, luxury developments are going up here in the city, right? But the rest of the city is suffering. We have potholes everywhere. Crime is at an all-time high, although they say it's not. People are getting burglarized at the casino after winning. Stores are getting robbed and vandalized. And we have students attacking each other on city buses while others are performing sexual acts inside the schools. Unbelievable. 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 So what are officials doing? What are elected officials doing? And that's what I want to talk about also. I want to talk about, do they care? Do our elected officials care about what's going on here in the city of Yonkers, or do they only care about themselves? They only seem to be concerned with themselves and helping developers because that eventually helps them. Right? So we must care. We must care. The people, we must care. Parents can't afford to send your kids. If you can't afford to send your kids to a private school, like some of our elected officials and other elites here, then you have to care because this is affecting you and your child in their schools. If you're not fortunate to get one of the 3 good schools here in the city, you must care because there's a lot happening in the schools and we are not being told. We are not being told. Homeowners and city residents alike, you must care. Taxes are going up 2.9%. Another increase. We already have inflation and high cost of goods and services to contend with. Now we have taxes going up while developers continue to get breaks on developments where we are seeing mass evictions currently. My Black and my Hispanic brothers and sisters, we must care. We must care. If you aren't in the in crowd, right? If you're not in the in crowd, you are slowly being pushed out. So we must care. We must care. And again, I say God is behind me. God is doing this because things are just happening that I'm like, wow, it's incredible to me. Today, I attended an event for Democrat Congressman and candidate for New York State Governor Tom Suozzi and Lieutenant Governor candidate Diana Reina. If they were to win, she'd be the first Dominican lieutenant governor here in the state of New York. I'm personally supporting the two candidates, and I will say that now, especially after the speech today that the congressman gave, right? He gave a speech in regards to taking back our government. His message resonated with me and others who are tired of elected officials no longer working for the people or caring about the people, but instead working for wealthy individuals such as developers and others who contribute tons of money to politicians in order to influence the way they engage in politics. His message was simple. We, the people, need to become involved. We must care enough to come out and vote to win our city back. For those who have come here, from those, I should say, who have come here to drain the city of state and federal funding designated to improve our community. Politics has become less about serving the public and more about controlling over $1 billion a year that the city sees in its budget. In order to do that, you must control elected officials. One man, I say, has full control of at least 4 of our city council members. But does this person have control of the mayor? I want to show you a post today that was sent to me. In order to do that, you must, does the individual have control of the mayor? Mayor Mike Spano. From the very beginning, people have described former Republican Chairman Zehy Jereis as a soldier, sort of an underboss-like figure who took orders from above. His role is to get the right person elected while assuring the wrong person does not even have a chance to run. The right person is someone that has a weakness that can be exploited. According to sources and research, and from officials themselves, Zehy is the wizard behind the curtain for the majority leader, Councilwoman Shanae Williams, Councilman John Rubo, and the city council president. He is also the machine behind Nader Sage and Judge Ada Medina. Right away, what he does is provide the necessary funding to the individuals, right? When they want to run, that's how he gets them. That's how he controls them. You have to have money to run an election. He gets them right away with the funding to run the election, especially if you win judge. That's almost $200,000 a year job, right? It's a big money, big money. He works to stop any potential opposition, like in the judges race coming up, which I've talked about in past podcasts. But he's also able to manipulate the way elected officials vote on items introduced at meetings by providing certain elected officials with jobs for their relatives, internships at law firms for many private, and funding and money for private schools, for kids, connections, networking, and resources, and improving their financial situation, along with other material things. However, many of us know this already. It happened before in the Sandy and Nabi Ridge Hill scandal, but is Zehy Jereis also in control of the mayor? And if so, what could it be that Zehy Jereis has to offer? And I'm speaking about a post that was sent to me where the mayor of Yonkers, Mike Spano, posted a congratulations to Frank Jereis, son of Zehy Jereis, on receiving a full ride to New York Law School. Continue to make your family in Yonkers proud. Zehy Jereis must be a proud dad. And some wonder, why would the mayor make a post and include Zehy Jereis, a man convicted of political corruption, served 4 years for bribing city council members, bribed Sandy and Nabi, and that's just what he got caught for. Frankie Jereis is also known to be a campaign manager of sorts, according to Ada Medina on her campaign literature. He is her campaign manager. But are they involving corruption still? Many say yes, they're still involved. And they point to several things that are happening in the city of Yonkers. So should our mayor be involved with a gentleman who was convicted of political corruption, and also a man that controls at least 4 of the 7 city council members? I began to think about this after I was sent the screenshot of the post by the mayor congratulating the son of Zehy Jereis and Zehy himself. But why not the mom? She was there for 4 years when he wasn't. Why would the mayor post this? I can think of a few reasons why, as mayor, this post is concerning. In politics, we must have full faith in our political leaders. Therefore, associating with an individual that was convicted of bribing a council member, and that's, again, just what he got caught for, as well as insiders saying that he is up to his old tricks, should be a no-no. I was very surprised to see the post. I also heard that no one wanted to do anything with Zehy Jereis in the beginning after he was convicted. After serving 4 years for bribing Sandy and Nabi to vote yes on the Ridge Hill development, and this was after she was against it from day one. Does that sound familiar? Anyone? That's because that's exactly what the majority leader, Tasha Diaz, did on the affordable housing vote last year. Zehy Jereis is 1,000%, in my opinion, in control of Ms. Diaz. So does Zehy Jereis control the mayor? Did he have the mayor make this post to send a message to supporters? The message that Zehy Jereis is in charge. And we need to support him. Whether Jereis, who is, in my opinion, the most powerful of all players, he just is the very top of the pyramid or not, he has a lot of info worth lots of money and info that could take down probably half, if not more, of the politicians here in Westchester County. Absolutely. At the very least, any relationship between the mayor, our mayor, and Zehy Jereis would be inappropriate and compromises our city council, as they are responsible for the checks and balances, checking the mayor, so to speak. But since Zehy, who may have a relationship, it seems, with the mayor, controls Tasha Diaz, Shanae Williams, John Rubo, and according to Lakeisha Collins-Bellamy, he will be an influence on her as well, also supported her and ran her campaign. Knowing this, how can we trust at least 4 of the 7 council members? The mayor never wanted to increase the affordable housing, and he got what he wanted, which is what the developers wanted. And up until it was time to walk the walk, right? The majority leader supported it until it was time to walk the walk. Then the majority leader killed it. She killed it. She did a Sandy Anabi, supported it up until the last minute and changed her vote. Did someone tell her to vote no? Sure, I believe so. Most likely Zehy. For that, she became majority leader. People, wake up. She was the one to do it. She wants that life, the life of a social elite. And Zehy knows this well. Shanae's no different. She is her own priority, her future career as a real estate attorney, right? That's what she wants. She's got an internship and she's on her way. The city council president has a college student headed off to college and dreams of purchasing a home. And John Rubo has political and financial aspirations. His plan to become mayor are all he can think about. Having a successful business by the water, seeing the changes that are happening is going to benefit his business in his mind. And that's what he cares about. He cares about himself. They all do. They don't care that the working class is being removed from our city, the poor from the downtown waterfront area. None of them have the people's best interest first and foremost. None of them. And how much more obvious has it become? And will it become? Mass evictions down at the Apex because the people from the city with money threatened to stop paying the rent there if they did not get rid of the people with vouchers. That's District 1, Shanae. Do you think Shanae cares? She loves her people because she won't say Trump's name, but she cares about herself, just like the majority of them. Remember, it's what we care about that we focus on the most. We know what our elected officials care about. We see it. It's obvious. However, what matters most, I believe, in my opinion, what matters most is what the people care about. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to care about Yonkers politics. We must all care and focus on these coming elections. Our elected officials have failed us. We are not developers. We are not the wealthy coming in from the city. We are the long-time residents, born and raised, many of us, if not living here most of our lives. And yes, we love this city, but do we care enough to make the change the city needs? That's a question I want to leave you guys with tonight. I can only tell you so much about what's going on. I can only spell it out. And I will continue to do that because, again, I care, and that is my end goal. So I hope I'm clear now to those who have questioned what my purpose with Basement Politics is. I don't need a job. Thank God. I am blessed. I don't need anyone's advertisement money. I don't need an award from some organization here in the city. I don't need to be in the in crowd. I just care about you guys, about you Yonkers. And I want to see it improve. And I want to see, well, I want to not see, I should say, people just struggling downtown every day. I meant to post up some pictures from downtown that I took earlier. It's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. I don't want to see people have to leave. And people were talking about that today again, leaving Yonkers, leaving, even the state of New York. But Yonkers, because the taxes are going up, affordable housing is becoming harder to find. And the only option for people is to leave. And that's exactly, I think, what they want. I'm Freddie Vasquez. Thank you for joining me. I will be, once I get videos, I'm supposed to be getting some other videos. I will be discussing those videos as well. I want you guys to consider also, if you wondering who you should vote for in the governor's race, take a look at Tom Suozzi, Diana Reina. I think you may like what they have to say, but again, do your research. I want you to make the choice. And again, make a choice that you care, with care. We care. We want to see our city improve. We want to see officials that care about our city, that care about us, care about the people. Right? So check them out. I think, you may like what they have to say. So that's that. Again, I was very surprised about the mayor posting that up. It was very interesting. It's just maybe more, bold. It's almost like, yeah, and what are you going to do? This is how we do. We run things. And is that how it is, folks? Or do the people run things? I'm Freddie Vasquez. Thank you for joining tonight. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Have a great week coming up. I may be on tomorrow. If not, I'll be on Tuesday for sure. But continue to share the podcast. Please don't forget the Data Share contest. Share. I appreciate the support. I appreciate the information that I'm getting. Thank you for the videos. And I also have another surprise. I'm going to be talking to an individual tomorrow just to get some questions. I'm doing my journalistic work here. And I don't want to mention what it is because it could be sabotage. They tried to shut my page down. They reported a post of mine. By the way, this is Tom Suozzi and Diana Reina. So yeah, so they tried to. So anyway, they reported a post of mine. So share. So let's let not can't knock the show down. Let's share. We can't be afraid. We have to let them know now. This is how we feel. You have to take a position, and in life, you come to a point where you got to take a stand, and you got to let it be known what side you want. You got to be very clear and firm. And I'm on your side, folks. I'm Freddie Vasquez. Have a good night. Please share the podcast. Let them know Freddie Vasquez out here speaking truth. Thank you very much, folks. And please, more parents, staff, send me information. politicwithfred@gmail.com. politicwithfred@gmail.com. Send me the information. I'll put it out. Everyone remains anonymous, even if they try to take me to court. I'm from the streets. Loose lips sink ships. We keep our mouths shut. I guarantee you that. So please, feel comfortable, feel safe. Send me the information. I'm Freddie Vasquez. Have a great night, Yonkers. Take care.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
I am Freddie Vasquez. This is Basement Politics Unfiltered, the only place where you get it real, raw, and unfiltered. Do we care enough, Yonkers? Do we care enough about our city to come out and make a change this coming election? It's very important. This is probably some of the most important elections that the city of Yonkers will have in a very long time. So we have to come out. And if you're not registered, you need to get registered. I will be out there working to get folks registered. So again, I'll be putting that information out. Share the podcast. Don't be afraid. Let them know you support Freddie Vasquez and Basement Politics. And shout out to the people that support me, that recognize me, that say they love what I'm doing. Thank you. You keep me going. You do. You guys do. And sometimes I even wonder, what am I doing? But I do it for you guys because I care. I care. I'm Freddie Vasquez. Peace out.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
Let's get it popping. Let's get it popping. In another one, Mr. Rubo lied to me. And I don't vote for a person that lied to me. Thank you very much.
You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez. You're watching Basement Politics with my dad, Freddie Vasquez.
Let's get it popping.
Freddie wins. Fatality.
I was raised in housing. I was raised in housing.
Freddie wins.